things, the most obvious, of course, being the body image. And so I think when women come to the show and they see a lot of different body types, it makes them feel good, and it also makes them feel liberated because in addition to seeing them, they're seeing the audience fall in love with all these different bodies. The two things that draw me to burlesque the most are the sincerity, because I think being sincere is the most important quality that a performer can possess, and I think it's electrifying to the audience, and the freedom. You can choose any musical genre, you can choose any time period, you can choose any perspective, you can be comical, you can be grotesque, you can be anything, and you could have all those things in one show. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you have found yourself at a burlesque show. You can hit it! Crank it up! Even louder! Oh, mama! You treat your daughter mean. I said, mama! You treat your daughter mean. Ooh, mama! Always treat your daughter mean. He's the meanest man I've ever seen. Now, mama, he treats me badly. Makes me laughing madly. Ooh, and mama, he takes some of my money. He makes me count.
I actually am just getting back into performing more.
I should put on a pasty.
What's going on?
My merkin.
Well, I think it's probably a little more subconscious than that. I'm sure afterwards, over coffee.
I do what I can. That's beautiful and so tiny.
My audience, it really could be anybody.
So what's your name?
My name is Malone.
Okay. How long have you been dancing burlesque?
Just over 4 years.
What drew you to it?
I heard a voice.
Were you had you been acting on stage before this, or singing, or performing in some other way?
I mean, I acted and did stuff in high school, and I've always loved the spotlight. But my training is in art history. I mean, I was an academic and administrator.
And how? And do you still pursue art history? Do you do both, or how does that?
I do. I mean, I would like to consider myself a curator of shows, especially with burlesque. I produced my own show for a while, in which I treated the show as an exhibition of performative art.
Tell us your name.
Scooter Pie.
Scooter Pie. How many nights a year do you perform burlesque, would you say?
It's increased a lot, the number of nights I perform. In the past few months, things have kind of picked up a little bit for me, and I've been traveling more. But since I do co-produce a weekly show, it's at least once a week.
And you produce a show at downtown New York, or where's the show?
I co-produced a show with RunAround Sue. It's actually a little bit different than the traditional setup. It's more of a burlesque dance party, so it's a little bit more interactive. And we do that in the Lower East Side, Manhattan every week.
Oh, okay.
My name's Broadway Brassy.
Broadway Brassy.
I'm a singer.
You do? You sing?
I sing.
Okay. How did you get into burlesque?
There was a show that needed a singer, and I auditioned, and since then it's just been steamrolling. Keep going. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
How long have you performed with this group?
With the live group, performing in New York City for about 7 years.
Who's your audience?
Who's my audience?
Yeah, who are you performing for?
Well, you know what? This is going to sound rather lofty, but burlesque really has the potential to unify people from all different backgrounds, socioeconomic, ethnic, everything. So my audience, it really could be anybody.
I've not seen neo-burlesque before seeing your show, and I was struck by how much fun the women on stage and the women in the audience particularly were having together, right? And what do you make of that?
Well, I think that burlesque is very medicinal for a lot of things. The most obvious, of course, being the body image and my bodies. And so I think that again, the freedom, the same freedom that I am responding to, I think that they're responding to.
That's really
Or afterwards, over coffee at brunch, they break it down and say, yeah, you know, all I ever see in magazines are this type of body, and it was great to see that. But I think when they're in the room, it's just a visceral sort of go with the joy and the freedom and the acceptance. Burlesque is incredibly accepting.
Everyone you can think of and their mothers.
Emphasis on their mothers?
Well, I'd say that just because my mom comes to shows. It really runs the gamut. It's everyone from, you know, barely legal, you know, 21-year-olds. There's, gosh, you know, there's everybody. Everybody, all races, all creeds. I don't think I've yet seen a nun in the show. But yeah, it's, I mean,
on
all
stage.
age ranges. On stage, that's a whole other question.
I wonder, how would you describe neo-burlesque versus burlesque from, say, 40 years ago?
Burlesque from 40 years ago, I would classify as the golden age of burlesque, and that was much more straightforward, beautiful, very much woman as gorgeous object who oftentimes, or sometimes transcended that. Neo-burlesque, I find, there are no rules. It can be as performance arty or as classic as possible. It's sort of taking everything that the women did, you know, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, earlier and later, even after the burlesque bands happened, and really make something that's their own, something that's completely liberated from anything that they may have been told, anything that they may have heard, anything they may have believed growing up. You know, women should be nice, polite, keep their clothes on.
Let us see what happens if she does something like this!
Nobody cares. Wearing out things that nobody wears. You're calling my name, but I gotta make clear.
Some light taps, you see, and say, out, naughtiness, out. Can everybody say that with me? Out, naughtiness, out. You're so good. I think this is going to work if we all believe together. What's your name? Jen. Jen, where are you from? Los Angeles. Everyone from this side of the room over, you're cheering.